Today we'll be taking a look at the history of Daft Punk. Daft Punk formed in the early 1990s when French musicians Guy-Manuel de Homem-Christo and Thomas Bangalter disbanded their rock trio Darlin in favor of pursuing another project with a more electronic sound. In 1993, the two artists presented a demo to Scottish techno label Soma Records. Not long after, the pair released its first single, The New Wave, in 1994. Their first commercially successful single came just a year later. Da Funk was an all-instrumental track originally released in 1995 and re-released the following year as a single by the band's new label, Virgin Records. This '96 re-release was accompanied by a Spike Jonze-directed music video. Daft Punk's debut record was 1997's Homework. Combining techno, house, and rave elements, the album was extremely influential to the 1990s dance music scene. It also spawned the extremely successful single Around the World, and a music video directed by Michel Gondry. A collection featuring all of Homework's legendary music videos, called DAFT, a story about dogs, androids, firemen, and tomatoes, was released in 1999. Though the group had previously performed without costumes, they started wearing masks during their Homework shows. For press appearances, they had their faces digitally concealed or substituted by animation. The group's sophomore effort was 2001's Discovery. This record's sound featured a more disco and synth-pop-infused style than their debut, and sampled songs from the 70s and 80s. The high-charting album also generated several successful singles, such as Face to Face, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, and the cult hit One More Time. That same year, Daft Punk's first live album, Alive 1997, was released. Daft Punk's popularity rose throughout the Discovery years. It was also during this period that the band changed their look. At their shows and rare press appearances, they donned futuristic robot suits and even wore LED-enhanced helmets in advertising campaigns. In 2003, the musical film Interstellar 5555, the story of the secret star system, was released, and it contained a Japanese animated episode for each song on the Discovery album. Centering on the rescue of a kidnapped alien band, the film was co-produced by Daft Punk themselves and supervised by manga artist Reiji Matsumoto. A remix album entitled Daft Club also came out in 2003. 2005 saw the release of album number 3, Human After All. This time, the duo added components of rock and minimalism to their sound, which garnered mixed reviews. Nonetheless, the album was nominated for a Grammy and produced singles such as Robot Rock and Technologic.
Technologic. Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it.
Daft Punk went through another costume change with the release of Human After All. Their simplified outfits were made up of black leather jackets and pants, and maintained headgear similar to that of the Discovery era. The duo kept busy in 2006 with the release of the remix album Human After All Remixes, and a collection of songs and videos called Musique Volume 1, 1993 to 2005. They also played several shows, including their first US performance in almost a decade at the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. In 2006 was also the year they made their directorial debut with the film premiere of Daft Punk's Electroma. In 2007, Daft Punk embarked on the Alive 2007 World Tour, where they headlined several major festivals as well as several sold-out Australian dates. Their Grammy-winning live album, Alive 2007, also came out that year. Then, in 2008, Daft Punk had their first televised live performance at the 50th Annual Grammy Awards, when they performed the single Stronger with rapper Kanye West. Daft Punk then returned to the studio to work on new material. In 2009, they composed the score for Tron Legacy, a movie in which they would make a cameo. Both the soundtrack and the film were released in December 2010. With their blend of electro, techno, disco, and pop, Daft Punk brought house music to the mainstream. Combined with their mysterious image, explosive live performances, and memorable music videos, these French musicians are sure to keep dance floors hopping well into the future.